All right, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Florida Licensing Board. Today is Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. For the record, all members of the board are present. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made, whether perceived or unperceived by those present, and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. First item on the agenda, a new alcohol common victular license. This license was originally discussed at the meeting of February 20th, 2019, and at that time there was a vote taken, and that's what brings us here today. So a motion to reconsider that vote, I believe, would be in order.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we reconsider our vote from February 20th, 2019 regarding this matter.
And I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded to reconsider the vote. Is there anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye. I'd like to make a motion to approve the all alcohol common victuals license.
And I'll second that motion.
There is a motion made and seconded to approve the license. Anyone else in favor? I'm sorry. Is there anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? Mr. Frank, do you want to say something?
Just basically, just to clear up some issues from the last meeting, the people that were with me that night were as follows. Jenny Fernandez, who is the manager of the LLC, as that term is defined by the statute. Also with me that night were Luis Betancourt, who is with me here again today, and Rosa Fernandez. The two of them are members of the LLC, as is Jenny Fernandez. So the people that were before you at the last meeting representing the LLC were the manager, Jenny Fernandez, and the members, Jenny Fernandez, Luis Betancourt, and Rosa Fernandez.
So they're all interested parties.
They are, and their names are listed in the application with their percentage interests in the LLC.
Thank you.
And to reiterate again that Mr. Betancourt has signed a purchase and sales agreement to purchase 37 Purchase Street. These folks are using all of their own monies to purchase the building, put it in a realty trust, and then sign a lease with the LLC. They've already secured their money. They leveraged other properties. So they are looking to move along with this project. And as I told you last time, besides hiring a number of individuals, they're probably at the end of the day going to invest about $1 million in the city of Fall River in that neighborhood.
I think just for the record also, could you just briefly summarize, although the
Sure.
vote was, is being reconsidered, the material is the same. I think just to be clear though on the record this time, just briefly give us a description of what it is.
Oh, sure. It's the building located at 37 Purchase Street on the first level and extending into the basement for storage purposes will be used as a restaurant with 3 separate dining experiences. There'll be some type of sports pub, a wine and restaurant bar, and then a sandwich shop. But they'll be able to close off the rooms as needed. So once you walk in the door, you can go to any one of those 3 rooms and have the experience of whether you want a casual dining experience or a more formal dining experience. The square footage of the restaurant will be approximately 2,660 square feet. There are 3 entrances. There'll be 2 exits. We estimate the seating capacity at 127 and the total occupancy somewhere at around 150. Of course, that final number is always determined by code enforcement individuals. The building is sprinkled. It has an elevator, and it also has off-street parking.
Okay, if we can just, for the record again, Ms. Fernandez, you're applying to be the manager,
Yes.
correct? And could you just briefly give us some of your work background in this type of industry?
So I've grown up in the restaurant business. I've with my family's business at Cinderella Restaurant, 85 Columbia Street. I've worked for other businesses. I've worked for Ruby Tuesdays. I've worked for the Boathouse in Tiverton, several bars, and recently now I'm in the jewelry business, but I'm coming back into the restaurant business.
So it's your intention that if this is approved, that this will become your full-time job?
Absolutely, yes.
So I think, as I remarked last time, Mr. Chairman, it's very rare that you get such experienced restaurant people coming in to open up a second restaurant. It doesn't really happen a lot. But in this situation, you've got people who have worked at Cinderella and now Barca. Unfortunately, Rosa couldn't be here. She's back at the restaurant cooking. But, I don't think you get 3 more qualified individuals associated with a limited liability company to run a restaurant.
Any questions?
No questions.
Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
All right, if you want
Yeah.
to repeat your motion.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the new all alcohol common victuals license.
And I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded to approve the license. Anyone in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck again.
Hey, wait, we need the
And
manager.
Just
I'll
manager
make the
vote.
motion.
I'll make a motion that we
Okay.
approve the manager.
And I'll second that motion.
So motion made and seconded to approve Jenny Fernandez as the manager. Is there anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
Thanks for
Very
taking your
good.
time out of your day
Yes.
to come
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Thank
like-
you.
Likewise. I was like, oh my gosh.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So, with respect to that, we had 3 open meeting law complaints filed with respect to that meeting, all with respect to this application that was just approved. The first one was Patrick Higgins, dated the 21st, because of the, and I just want to state for the record as well, and for the public that may be watching, the board, as the chairman of the board, I'll take the responsibility that there was a typographical error, there was a clerical error, and unfortunately, you're dealing with human beings, and people make mistakes. And that's all it was. There was no intent to deceive or defraud. And that was verified with the ABCC and the Secretary of State's office. They didn't really see the big issue with it because it was clear who the parties were, where the property was, and what they were asking to do. But erring on the side of caution, and we certainly don't want to be any hindrance to these people that are willing to invest upwards of $1 million in the city, I thought it was best as a chairman to reconvene and reconsider the vote so that there is no question. So just for the record, I want, it did happen. We regret that it happened. And, the complaints talk about the minute of the meeting, the actual time of the meeting, when it was said that it was an LLC and not a corporation. And I regret that I missed that, because as a lawyer, I should be trained to hear those things, but there were so many things going on. Like I said, and nothing in my mind was that we were here to defraud anyone.
No, I want to say it was my mistake.
Well,
I appreciate you saying that.
well, whoever's mistake it was a mistake. So, and I'm somewhat offended by the fact that people would think that it was anything other than a mistake. It's not the way that's not the way we operate. And we don't work with deceitful minds or minds that are twisted trying to find problems with everything that happens. So the bottom line is that we have 3 complaints, 2 of them being filed by Patrick Higgins. I'm sorry, 1 being filed by Patrick Higgins, 2 being filed by Colin Dias. And Patrick's had to do with the LLC as opposed to the corporation. The Collins had to do with the fact that the agenda was revised 4 times, and he didn't think it was done correctly. We've been told that it can be revised up to the minute the people walk into the room for the meeting, but Mr. Dias doesn't believe that's correct. And his second complaint was that at the hearing, Attorney Frank was here, there were other people at the table that weren't advertised, so they shouldn't have been allowed to speak. I guess the representation issue is out of the board, and that Ms. Fernandez didn't speak loud enough, and even though he was sitting in the first row, he couldn't hear her speak, so he didn't know what was happening. So again, they both asked that we nullify the prior vote and retake the vote, which we have done. So I would hope everything will be done, but these still need to be sent to Corporation Counsel so that they can respond accordingly within the parameters of the law. So a motion to refer all 3 of them to Corporation Council would be in order.
I'll make a motion that we refer all three open meeting law complaints to Corporation Council.
And I'll second that motion.
It's a motion made and seconded to refer them to Corporation Council. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
And the last item on the agenda would be citizens' input time. Is there anyone here that'd like to address the board? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second the motion.
There's a motion made and seconded to adjourn. Anyone else in favor? Anyone opposed? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.